This is Daily Armenia, CivilNet's daily news digest. Here's what's making headlines in Armenia today. Armenia's former defense minister was released on a nearly $39,000 bail yesterday after almost 3 years in detention on corruption charges, his lawyer Albert Benglian confirmed to CivilNet by phone today. David Tonoyan was arrested in September 2021 alongside a number of other high-ranking former defense officials on charges of embezzlement and abuse of power over alleged multi-million-dollar government purchases of defective ammunition before the 2020 Nagorno-Karabakh war. Tonoyan and his co-defendants stand accused of embezzling more than $5 million in the scheme. They deny the charges and claim the high-profile case is politically motivated. Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan appointed Tonoyan defense minister in the first days of his administration in 2018. Pashinyan fired Tonoyan in November 2020, days after the war ended in a disastrous defeat for Armenia. Despite his release, the charges have not been dropped. Government prosecutors did not immediately comment on the matter. Armenia has refuted 2 separate accusations by Azerbaijan in as many days of opening fire across the border, marking Baku's latest ceasefire violation accusations against Yerevan. Azerbaijan's defense ministry first reported an incident yesterday evening along the border between Armenia and the Nakhichevan exclave. It reported a second incident early this morning along a different section of the Armenia-Nakhichevan border. Armenia's defense ministry quickly rejected those claims, adding in a press release today, "We remind you that Armenia has proposed to Azerbaijan through diplomatic channels to create a bilateral mechanism to investigate cases of ceasefire violations." Pashinyan first proposed the measure earlier this year, but Azerbaijan has not commented publicly on the matter, even while alleging further ceasefire violations in recent months. Amid a spate of accusations last month, Baku warned it was ready to use all means in its arsenal to stop what it called Yerevan's provocative actions. Azerbaijan has also in recent months blamed the European Union and United States for what it sees as emboldening Armenia through increased military aid and cooperation. This week, India marked holidays back-to-back, the recently established Partition Horrors Remembrance Day, followed by Independence Day. CivilNet visited the Indian Embassy in Armenia and spoke with Ambassador Nilakshi Saha Sinha about the growing ties between Yerevan and New Delhi, especially in defense. As the ambassador said, Armenia and India's ties go back centuries, but state relations have grown far deeper in just the past couple years. You can watch the report through the link in the video description below. You can also take a look at CivilNet's latest deep dive on efforts by Armenians forcibly displaced from Nagorno-Karabakh to preserve the region's unique dialect. Our team spent time with Azat Adamyan, the owner of Stepanakert's famed Bardak pub, and podcasters Lika Zakarian and Tatevik Khachaturian to talk about the importance of preserving the Nagorno-Karabakh dialect in exile and passing it down to the next generation. You can find the full write-up linked below. And finally, the CivilNet number of the day is 5. That's the number of leading women chefs profiled in a new piece out yesterday in Vogue magazine titled "Female Chefs Blazing a New Trail in Armenian Cuisine." As Vogue describes, Armenia's female chefs are gaining international recognition for reinventing Armenian cuisine with a modern twist. It delves into these 5 chefs around the country, including Varda Avedisyan and her chain of vegetarian-friendly restaurants in the famed resort town of Dilijan. CivilNet traveled to Dilijan earlier this summer to profile Varda and speak with her about her burgeoning career. We've also linked that dispatch for you below. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.